start off with, I've played a bunch of ranked random stuff, but it's all stuff we've all talked about before, so it's not important. But I did finally take a dive into how did I describe it earlier? Hang on, I was talking to somebody about
2022's hottest game.
No.
I think it's 2023.
It was last year. It was last year.
Because remember, it has a 2-year exclusivity.
This is what I texted my friend about Forespoken.
Okay.
Forspoken feels like a game made in 2014. And I mean that in the worst way possible.
There we go.
It's terrible. It's
okay.
How can I even describe what I'm experiencing? Just everything about it is bad. Like at times, I will say, we'll start with graphics. At times it does look okay.
Okay.
Right? It looks when she's in motion, because a lot of the games about like parkour, free running, fast kind of stuff. And a lot of times when you're in motion, things look pretty good. But when you stop and you have to watch a cutscene with like people talking, someone looks good, somebody looks bad.
Okay.
Somebody's face changes between scenes.
Love it.
There's like you and this like other main character girl that you interact with in this other world that you get sent to. I'll go to the plot in a minute, but the main character, obviously the famous meme going around when this came out was that terrible looking like face and like this stuff. Yeah, I see that from time to time. There's something wrong with her face. Like she looks like the model, because the biggest thing was everybody's like, she doesn't look like the model in the game. She does for the most part, but it's like her mouth is wrong.
It has to do with the animation.
Yes. Like it's when she talks, like her mouth looks weird. Okay. And it's either too big, or you see too much of her teeth, or it's just something that looks off, where it's a little jarring. But to jump back to the plot, you're like, a delinquent whose parent, you never knew your parents.
Yeah.
Christmas happens to be your birthday. You're on your third strike. If you get arrested again, the judge is going to send you to jail. These people like harass you to steal a car, and you tell them no, so they burn down the building you're squatting in. Okay. And then you find a magic bracelet that sends you to this other world, which this is within like the first 30 minutes. I can already tell you everything that's going to happen. Like clearly I'm originally from this world. Clearly the bracelet like belonged to my parents or something. Like, it's all just bullshit. Whoever wrote this game is so far up their own ass. It's unbelievable. They expect me to care about all this lore. They've created this lore of this other world and the break and these like evil women. It's so fucking boring. It's nonsensical. I just don't care about anyone in this world. I don't care about the main character. Do you know why? She's not likable.
Awesome.
She's a piece of shit. Like, she goes around constantly. All these people, at first they're afraid of her, and then like obviously like you save them from something, and they're all like, "You're the hero. I'm no hero. Don't talk to me like I'm a hero." And then she'll go out and she'll be like, "I'm gonna fuck this shit up," and like kill random people and stuff outside the castle walls. Wow. Oh, I also forgot to mention the bracelet talks.
I don't like that.
Only she can hear it. And,
of course.
So it's like this weird buddy cop comedy, except they hate each other and you don't like either of them.
Awesome.
So it's nothing. And they talk all the time. You think
how does it run?
It runs fine. Like there are times during battle where
like does it even have a performance mode and a frame rate?
Okay. It has different modes. I think I have it on performance just because I don't want it to slow down while I'm shooting stuff, because like right now I just have rock powers. I think I get fire powers and other fucking power. Nobody cares. Just to go back, like, you think Chadley talks a lot in Rebirth?
He talks a lot in Rebirth. No, the bracelet
and this chick have conversations all the time about everything. Oh, look at that over there. Oh, are you ready to do this? Oh, you should go take a rest. Oh, I can't do this. Shut up, bracelet. And it's just like, oh my God, like she'll tell it to shut up, and he keeps talking.
Well, remember that was kind of that problem for a little while with some of those other Sony games where the main character would talk too much and tell you what to do.
Like Horizon.
Like Horizon had that problem.
But that's why I think I told you this game was made 10 years ago. And it never implemented anything.
Well, it's on the Luminous engine, and that's about 10 years ago.
It's a mashup of a ton of games. It's a mashup of Final Fantasy 15. It's a mashup of any generic open world game, except this open world is not populated. It's all busted up ruins. There's no NPCs outside of the castle. I've not met a single one.
What are the enemies that you're fighting, man?
People who are infected that have just been wandering the waste forever and really like fucked up dogs and bears. It's so dumb. There's also these weird like mutants, which are harder things to kill, which they're only hard because they're not vulnerable to the magic I have now.
Okay.
I just like the other, other vibes I get from this is like, it's like The Quiet Man from Sony.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Remember that game where like,
oh my
that game's just so pretentious about how this cool story it's telling. And the way it tells it and the way it looks and feels.
Didn't you have to beat it once to play through it again with sound?
Yeah. Which I understand and I don't understand. But just everything about this game is
terrible,
contradictory to itself. There are weird like cutscenes that take like 4 seconds to load from a black screen. But fast travel is instant.
Weird.
What?
So it's like they optimize fast travel, but not how the cutscenes load into the game.
You'll walk into an empty village and it'll go black, and then you have to wait 4 seconds to see monsters walk up, and then a fight starts. It's bad. It has shoehorned in really shit puzzles. Some chests, like there's chests everywhere, and to get a platinum, yes, I do have to get almost everything. It's fucking
wonderful.
But some of the chests you can just open. Some of the chests have weird fucking puzzles on them, which are just slide puzzles to connect a line. At most, it's like 3 moves.
Is this the platinum that breaks you?
No, Rebirth is the platinum breaks me because I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it without losing my mind. This game is just it's empty. It's so boring. One of the quests is these kids are like, we've never been outside the castle walls. Can you take pictures for us? Because of course I still have my smartphone, and of course it still works.
That doesn't make sense.
This is like medieval times type shit.
That doesn't make sense. I'm going around
taking pictures of castles to show these little kids. Some of the quests in the town are follow this cat. You just will follow a cat walking around the town.
Do you use the cell phone as like the GPS for like the map and stuff?
No, the cell phone does nothing else.
It just takes pictures.
The only plot point the cell phone specifically has is when you first arrive at this town, some little girl steals it out of your pocket and you catch her. And then she's like, I'm a pickpocket too. You can't pickpocket me because remember, I'm the coolest person that's ever lived.
Oh, Lord.
So then like she creates this like awkward friendship with this girl who's like 9 and you've got to be like 20 something. Don't worry, that girl's
probably mid-20s.
That girl is dead in the next chapter thing. She gets fucking murdered by one of the bad chicks who shows up in the town and just fucking blows up a whole bunch of shit. That kid's dead. And you like hold her in your arms. She's dead. And they do that stupid thing where they're like, wipe the hand over the face and they close the eyes.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's just,
I know what you mean.
It doesn't look right. And then the game becomes, well, I'm going to avenge this girl. And then it becomes, haha, I really fucked that thing up, didn't I, bracelet? And you're like, what is going on? Her emotions are all over the place.
I wonder if the cell phone and the bracelet become friends later on.
There you go.
Maybe he talks to the cell phone. I don't know.
I wouldn't say that's the actress's fault, though. That's definitely the writing of the game.
It's not her. It's the writing is bad. The story is bad just because it's boring and predictable.
Well, we talked about it when it originally came out. It's a game that came and went. Like, remember when it was coming out, Sony was pumping it hard.
It's bad. Well, because
and then it came out, it got those. It has a 2-year exclusivity. Do you think they bring this to Xbox?
No. The studio's gone. This game did so bad. The studio's gone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
There's nothing about this game that makes me want to play it. Other than
I'll get that platinum and put it on the shelf.
Platinum it because you bought it for me
in your sweet steelbook.
Yeah, it's just the movement is okay, but it's not correct. Like you run into walls and you fall off of stuff. She moves too fast sometimes, so you'll fly off of something. The way you upgrade spells is every spell has a challenge that you have to like activate, and then you do things, and then you can upgrade it. You can don't worry. There's like 100 spells. You can only have 3 of those challenges active at one time before you have to go back and start another one. No, they should just all be on at all times. I shouldn't have to read this stupid book. I told you before, this game has perspective issues. Remember Batman Arkham Origins, where Batman is too big to fit in a car?
Yes, and we're talking about that fight. Yeah,
apples in this world are as big as a child's head. She tosses the girl an apple.
What?
And I swear to you, she holds it up like to take a bite, and it's bigger than her fucking hand.
That's wrong.
It's an apple. What is wrong? Maybe apples in this world are just fucking huge. I don't know. But
yeah, see, at least in this game, you can make that excuse. There is no excuse in that Batman game for that car to be like that.
They even do this really fucking dumb thing where we're in a different world, but of course everyone speaks English. And I'm not talking like British English. I'm talking American English.
Yeah.
They make a joke. How can everybody understand me? Oh, English. I found that language is just kind of like a universal thing. But then it comes up to something later where somebody says something and you can't understand it. And then they're like, well, not everybody speaks it. You're like, what?
Wow.
They
just go back on their own rule.
They rewrite the rules as the game progresses.
It's one of those.
And,
okay.
If they had not said, oh, everyone just speaks English, nobody would have cared. You wouldn't have even noticed it. Whatever, it's a video game. But now you're putting me into your game's logic and then taking me out of it.
No thanks.
It's just
understandable.
It's poor. It's poor writing. It's poor everything. And that's why it feels like it's from 10 years ago.
Okay.
It's a bad PS4 game.
Well, I'm never going to play it.
No one should.
That was just I saw it at the price it was, and I'm like, I was
interested in it before it launched because I'm a Square sucker. Mm-hmm. Even though we're getting firmer and firmer into the belief that unless it says Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest on it from Square, it's trash. Yeah. Like you can pretty much ignore it at this point. Every other one-off thing they try fails.
Yeah.
And it's just over and over and over again. Quiet Man, fail. This game, fail. I'm sure there's another game I could probably think of that failed, but I probably pushed it out of my mind. Because just focus on these two franchises. Do your big numbered Final Fantasies every so often. Keep working on remakes. When 7 Remake is done, move on to the next one. And then do side story stuff. Remaster old stuff. That's all they have to do to keep the cycle going.
Dirge of Cerberus.
They should
remastered.
Why wouldn't you do that? You did Crisis Core. That's only logical to do that next. And as a matter of fact, it should be the thing you release between this and the next one.
It would be a smart idea.
Right. Because then you have all of it. Those are the 3 things. It's all done. Whatever. And then you've got, 13 needs a remaster collection. Not a remake, a remaster collection.
That's fine.
And if you want to remake something, I know 9 is the hot topic one, and I would love a 9.
I think that would be cool.
I think Tactics is the bigger move.
Yeah.
Imagine if they remade Tactics,
especially in a time where you see there's not a big market for strategy games, but the ones that come out usually do pretty well.
Have been doing pretty well. Yeah.
Like that Unicorn Overlord, which I do have.
Diofield Chronicle, I have not played through yet, but
I haven't either. But I played the demo,
and I like the demo.
That wasn't too bad.
I think when they go that way with stuff, when they go older type games, they tend to have success.
But for Final Fantasy Tactics, what's their real competition? Just Fire Emblem.
Pretty much. And Fire Emblem, I think we're at the point now where Fire Emblem is on overload. There's almost too much Fire Emblem right now.
It could take a break.
So it can take a break. But a Tactics would be good. I would kill for a Tactics Advanced for console. That's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But do I have to play the DLC for Forespoken? Is that a given that I have to do that too?
Is there DLC for that game?
Oh yeah, they made DLC for that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what I wouldn't be.
I would. Well, the PlayStation does that nice thing where they break out DLC trophies from the main list.
But then it won't be 100%. And that'll annoy me.